let's face it, we all want to be with an attractive woman, whether that's dating an attractive woman, being in a long-term relationship with an attractive woman, or being married to an attractive woman. But what if you're trying to hit above your weight class? And what I'm talking about is, let's say out of 10, you are only a 5, 6, 4, 5, or 6, but yet you want to date women that are 7, 8s, and 9s. And that's what this video is about. It's about how the 7 things I'm going to reveal on how to hit above your weight class, and pay attention to number 5. So keep watching this video because this is going to get good. And by the way, thank you so much for one of my subscribers. And the subscriber name is the DWZEMKE. All right. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Sober Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right. How to hit above your weight class. And what I'm talking about is wanting to go out with women that are 7s, 8s, and 9s, but yet you yourself are not a 7, 8, or 9. Okay. So I'm going to reveal the 7 things. And number 5 is my personal favorite and the one I've had the most success with. Okay, so let's just get into this video. Number one is masculine frame. And I know this is thrown around a lot, right? But I have to mention this and give an example. His name is Colt Johnson, who was on 90 Day Fiancé, okay? This guy, he's overweight, right? Lives with his mom and he's broke, okay? So fat, overweight, and broke, and living with his mom, right? And they have a cat. So this dude was able to date and marry a attractive Brazilian. Her name was Larissa. Then next, that ended, but then next he dated another attractive Brazilian, and her name was Jess. And then he ended up marrying his friend or whatever. But the point of here is these 2 women were definitely above his weight class. The 2 previous women, the 2 Brazilians. And I got thinking, like, how the heck did this broke, fat guy, right, who lives with his mom, right, end up dating above his weight class? Well, he had one characteristic, and that's the number 1 point, is masculine frame. And he did not tolerate the BS from either one of these women, right? And they would, test him all the time and say, your car is kind of junky and it doesn't even have air conditioning. And he'd say, well, be grateful that you're getting a ride because you don't have a license, you can't even drive. Like, that's what I'm talking about in terms of masculine frame, is not allowing those shit tests to belittle you, to demean you, and for you to end up being a doormat. And that's one of the key things in dating attractive women is these attractive women get attention all the time. It's off the charts. In fact, there's no comparison between a woman who's a 7, 8, or 9 and a woman who's a 4, 5, or 6. There just is not. They just exist in a different parallel universe, essentially, right? In terms of the amount of attention they get. And here's the sad thing. The sad reality is it's not just the attention. They're getting hit on by married men. Office co-workers. It's bad. It's like another level compared to women that are 4, 5s, and 6s, okay? So you need to have masculine frame when you're dealing with these attractive women, because men are chasing them all the time, and very, very few men are willing to stand up to their shit tests, are willing to check their behavior, are willing to tell them, hey, look, what you did is not cool, stop doing that kind of thing, and holding your frame. And this dude, Colt from 90 Day Fiancé, is very good at that. So that's number 1, is masculine frame. Number 2 is confidence. And what do I mean by confidence? Is I mean being able to take rejection, right? So, okay, look, as a comparison, right? Women will get anywhere from 50 to 200 likes or messages, whatever it is, on any given dating app, like from day 1. If they're a 7, 8, and 9, they're getting guaranteed 50 to 200 likes, messages, whatever. Doesn't matter the dating app. Their inbox is flooded. However, when it comes to cold approach, these women, these same women, 7, 8s, and 9s, they only get approached out in public, like grocery stores, at a restaurant, bar, whatever. I'm not talking nightclubs, but just in general, out in public, walking down the street, at a park, whatever, they only get approached maybe 2 to 4 times per week. Those averages are amazing for you guys because that means a lot less competition, and also, but you have to be willing to walk up to these women and don't care, like don't give a shit what they think. Being able to take the rejection right on the forehead, right on the chin, doesn't matter how it comes. And here's the thing, guys. Women will respond in kind, okay? They're not going to claim that you're harassing them or you're being a creep or anything else, as long as you are a gentleman and you're not constantly staring at them and you just approach them in a genuine way, right? But the competition is limited, and women ultimately don't want to meet a guy on a dating app. It's basically just for attention. Their fantasy and their dream is to meet a guy organically. So if you're that guy that approaches them, right, and has the confidence to take the rejection, because guaranteed you're gonna get rejected. Okay, look at me, okay? Maybe I'm average, maybe I'm above average, whatever, but I think I'm a pretty decent looking guy, right? But I get rejected. It happens. And you're not gonna be everyone's type, okay? Like, I'm bald, right? I'm short, I'm 5'7". And some people would say I'm old, okay? Sure, I'm definitely not in my 30s and I'm not in my 40s anymore. So it's all about your confidence, and women are taken back in a good way when you approach them. Okay, restaurant bar, just quickly, is if I see a woman at a bar and she's with friends and there's no other dude with her, and I find her attractive and I'm feeling it in the moment, whatever, I just feel good that day. Because some days I don't feel like approaching women, but I will go up to her and she is just like, oh hell, this guy has balls. So that's number 2, is confidence. Number 3, humor. You have to have humor with all women, not just the 7s, 8s, and 9s. But here's the thing, most guys get nervous around the 7, 8s, and 9s. They clam up, they feel like they can't be funny, they can't be themselves. And I mean, if you don't believe me in terms of humor and how powerful this is, I've mentioned this dude many times, but Russell Brand. Okay, Russell Brand, just go onto YouTube, check out some of his interviews, and this guy is fucking hilarious. And he's flirty, he pushes the envelope with women, he uses sexual innuendos. You have to be careful with that one. But in general, if you're funny, you tease them a little bit, you don't take yourself seriously, women notice that, and that is one of the things that will develop attraction very quickly, okay? Number 4, charisma. Now, charisma is different than humor. Charisma is just the way you present yourself in public. The best example I can think of just off the top is Leonardo DiCaprio. There was a moment, right? Check this out. Leonardo DiCaprio was at this cocktail event, whatever, and Jeff Bezos and his now fiancé, Lauren Sanchez, were also at this event. Well, when Lauren Sanchez, and this has been all over the internet if you haven't seen this, when Lauren Sanchez saw Leonardo DiCaprio, she was starstruck. You could see it in her face. And Jeff Bezos was like, excuse me? Okay, listen to Jeff Bezos, second richest dude in the world, right? Can't compete with Leonardo DiCaprio. Because why? It's not because Leonardo DiCaprio is an actor and all this other stuff. What's really, really the thing is that he's charismatic, okay? And that's another reason why so many young women are interested in dating him. Now, of course, yes, he's the celebrity and stuff, but if he was an asshole and he was weird and he was a jerk, a lot of women ultimately wouldn't want to date him. But Leonardo DiCaprio is able to land these young, beautiful models, and one of the reasons is because that dude is probably one of the most charismatic dudes that I've seen on TV. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5, my personal favorite, is social status. Okay, no matter what the woman thinks of you in terms of looks and all this stuff and attractiveness, if she finds out that, and I'm just gonna rhyme off a bunch of stuff, right? Some of this is situational and some of this is not. So if she finds out that right away you're exchanging Instagram, okay? On my personal Instagram account, I have a large, over 40,000 follower Instagram account. And when women see that, they're like, oh damn. Their attractiveness to you all of a sudden spikes, okay? They find out I have a YouTube channel, and at the moment of publishing this video, I have, I think, over 43,000 subscribers. That's significant. And they're like, oh shit, okay. So in a situation, that's one thing. In a situational example is if a person's a bouncer, or they're a bartender, or they're a DJ. Do you see where I'm going with this stuff? Where you can control what happens in that social situation, right? The bartender controls the drinks of the place. The bouncer controls who gets into the place. The DJ controls the music of the place. This is what I'm talking about social status. Or she finds out that you're the president of the community alumni or something like this, and she's like, oh, I've always loved those buildings or whatever. So social status has worked huge for me in meeting women above my weight class, okay, and them being attracted to me, and that next level of attractionness. They're like, oh damn, okay, because I've got some of those things, right? So that's number 5. Number 6, which is kind of an obvious one, is financial status. But here's the thing, I'll give you a quick example from financial status. There's a friend of mine, woman, attractive, she's from Colombia, and she decided to go out on some dates with a restaurant owner. And this guy owns multiple properties, multiple restaurants. He's very successful, but he's 58, I believe, but he kind of looks like he's 65. He is a very large man, quite overweight, right? Not very attractive at all. And one night he's like, hey, why don't all of us go to this cocktail lounge? So we leave the bar, and he said, hey, I'll pick you up. And so he pulls his car around, and it's like the latest, greatest S-Class Mercedes. Like, this is an expensive car. It's probably, I don't know, 120 grand, 140 grand. And I mean, we get into this car, and it's like, it's, you know, all this luxury and stuff, and it's nice. I'm not really super big into cars, especially the luxury ones. So she, after a few dates with this guy, she's like, you know what? Yeah, he said that he would pay my rent and all these other things. But at the end of the day, she wasn't into him regardless of his money. So money will only take you so far. Number 7, the last one, is that you're willing to be a provider. So every single woman, whether they're 7s, 8s, and 9s, especially if they're younger, and even older women, right, appreciate a man that is willing to help them out financially. And I'm not talking about being a sugar daddy. I'm just talking in general. So for example, another story is a friend of mine, and she's 54. She's very attractive. She was a model when she was younger. And I mean, for her age, she's one of the best looking women that I've seen at her age. And she's a friend of mine, right? And so she goes out on this date with a captain of an airline. And this guy, a flight captain. And so this guy she was in between jobs at one point, and this guy never once said, look, do you need help with any groceries? Do you need any help with this or that or whatever? Not once. And you know what? She was very soon turned off. Now, when I say 7, 8s, and 9s and hitting above your weight class, that was a clear example. She was way more attractive than he was, but yet he wasn't willing to be a provider. So that's number 7 in a way that you can land these women that are above your weight class with those 7 things. And the last one, like I said, is being a provider. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. And if there's anything I've missed, if you disagree or agree with these, because I do want to hear from you, and especially it's helpful for other viewers. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.